enjoy the show, play on Perjangers.
I got the boys.
Do what Alim's doing. He's finishing The Promise.
Yeah,
We're getting
man.
Sweet Pea 3 soon.
The boys are all back. Look at this motley crew. Oh, man. Haven't all been on this Discord since the hit points and half measures.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Oh, my gosh, man. And all of us, little busy beavers going around here in the chat here, man.
All right.
I mean, you two looking mighty fine on your projects over there that I see out on the interwebs. Obviously, we have gathered together for one of the best indie comics in the country. I can't tell you how many in the country, in the world. I mean, on the whole interwebs, everywhere. One of the best indie comics that I think I have read, and I did the Heroic Awards the last 2 years. Okay, I've seen a lot of really good content, a lot of really a lot of good prospects, a lot of people. Like, I like what you did here, but you got work. But dude, Diary of Sweet Pea. I can't tell you. This is like, it's just like Mike and I, before you joined, we were talking about Game of Thrones and Fallout. These IPs that we love them. We can't wait till we get more. Fallout, tap the veins. I've been watching Fallout Mythos videos for like 2 weeks now. So, it's even Game of Thrones, same thing. Watching the videos. That's all my algorithm on YouTube is right now. Is mostly that stuff, and of course, Ancient Aliens. No.
How you enjoying Night of the Seven Kingdoms?
Bro, I was just telling him, I love that show. I was the first person to shit on it when they said, yeah, we're going to do a show about a night with no dragons and no magic. I was the first person to shit on it. Like, oh, get out of here. We don't need that.
I was already up on the lore a little bit, so when it came out, I kind of knew what to expect. Okay. I like what they doing with it, but it's just that them half-hour segments, man, it almost make me want to just wait till it's done so I could just breeze through it. Because what's it like 6, 8 episodes, something like that?
Yeah, it's something like that because they're at 5 and they're at the end of the tourney, whiwhich seems like they're just building to this tournament with this night and telling you everything about it. But I love the pacing.
Episode yet. I ain't seen.
Oh,
they did one Sunday.
You're gonna love it. But I love the pacing of it. I love how the overall look of it is Game of Thrones. You feel Flea Bottom. You feel, all the areas of Westeros. You feel the houses when you see the Baratheons or you see the Targaryen Sigma. You're like, oh shit.
From really the perspective of the commoner, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Giving you a different view in Westeros, which is a really good point. I love how you're pretty much, with Dunk, you're following a poor person.
Mm-hmm.
And you're finding out about his life. But the Easter egg... The Easter egg is that Sir Duncan the Tall is, he had 4 pages in the Night's Watch book. We found out from the original show. So he had 4 pages of this person's life, and he got an extended version in their Mythos book. What's it like for this guy? Crack that open. Even Egg and the revelations that come out of that character, I'm all for it. I'm loving it. I'm loving this whole show and the whole season. I didn't want to tap back into it and, and put my little tinfoil hat back on, but I've scooped my seat up and popped my eyes as close to that monitor as I could because I loved every minute of that show. I thought it was really well done.
Yeah, Song of Ice and Fire has a lot of lore. You can get lost. You can get a couple of hours knocked off going deep diving on YouTube, watching their stuff.
Oh, and especially like I've listened to the books of Fire and Blood, all the Game of Thrones books, going up to the one that obviously he hasn't finished writing yet. But you know, I mean, I've that was one of the mythoses that I hopped into, and I was like, ooh, water's fine here. Let's swim around. And I'm going through also those extended universe videos on Star Wars. Like, oh, give me all that lore. Give me all that lore. You know, I will watch all of your videos on that because there's probably like thousands of books that it's based off of. Just give me the highlights. Give me the highlights.
Oh yeah, what's it called? What's the Star Wars stuff that got Legacy, or what's it called?
Oh yeah,
there was Legacy, there was Rebellion, there's Republic Commando series that broke off into a bunch of other series. You find a lot more about Mara Jade and Luke's romance before he started this the school of Jedi Knights that eventually housed the sons of Leia and not Lando, fucking the other guy.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
And Luke.
You know what I'm talking about.
Luke and Mara and their kids. Although his one son is kind of pussy. But, you know, that lore is what we're looking at here. Because the Star Wars lore is vast. But it started with an idea. Just
they should have stuck with the books. The last trilogy.
Well, I mean, Kathleen Kennedy being gone, a lot of people are thinking that the Star Wars, the whole Star Wars movies and everything is really going to be determined not by the stuff that they have coming out, like Mandalorian Grogu, the movie that you spent millions on. Don't base it off of that. They're basing it off of Dave Filoni's, like, pretty much con announcement this year at the D23 Expo. What is he going to announce at their Star Wars celebration? Because that's really where Star Wars is going. You have a lot of series and movies that have even been just, you know, axed or people think are axed.
Who is this? Dave Filoni, you said?
Yeah, Dave Filoni.
He's the one that replaced Kathleen Kennedy. They praised him after his first season of Mandalorian.
They did. First two seasons.
He's showrunner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jon Favreau's hanging up his hat after the Mandalorian Grogu movie, though.
Well, I mean,
is they bringing back the Acolyte for me, or is that still in the
Acolyte is non-canon, my guy.
They're pretty much just leaving that first season of the Acolyte alone. The stuff that pissed me off is the art of the Acolyte book came out. So a lot of their plans that they didn't go forward with came out. And they were good, man. Before executives started meddling in that show, it was even better. And we did a podcast on it. You know, we both thought it was good. I loved it. I loved the lore and even just the overall story of the lesbian space witches. I thought that was cool. And the dig behind
it was supposed to tie in the space witches for the Ahsoka series to explain kind of the origins.
They were going to do Dathomir, but then Dave was like, "Oh, don't be afraid. It's not like these are the only witches out there in Star Wars." And he's like, "Well, fucking right. I'll write that shit in there." So nothing against Leslie Headland. I think she wrote a perfectly good script and then had to adjust it to what the higher ups wanted, and that's where we get the disconnect between the fans, the writer, and the finished product. And that's where I think Star Wars, one video said it right. They're having a leadership problem.
Yeah, Star Wars, yeah. I didn't know it went that deep in there. They had issues between the writers and all that other stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, because you have them wanting to put stuff in the Old Republic in that whole era, and you have people saying, yeah, and you have the other people and the higher up saying, "Oh no, you can't add that. Nah, you can't do that." So they adjusted that show, and already.
So hold on. Was the writers trying to break the canon, or was they trying to do some
like
portray some stuff?
The one thing was like the Dathomir witches, the covenant where the two girls came from. That was supposed to be the Dathomir witches, but they made a different witch. Now, that understandable, I get. You want to expand out the universe, you know. But that's the same aspect of this. Didn't have to be the main covenant of Jedi. There are a bunch of covenants of Jedi at that point. There are Jedi who believe in marriage. There are Jedi who believe in having more than one Padawan at a time. There are separate covenants of Jedi who they still talk, you know, but it's not like they don't expand out the universe enough. I think that's one thing that Andor did really well. Andor, you didn't see one lightsaber. Didn't need it. Didn't need it. It was all espionage and intrigue, which was half of the allure of Star Wars.
Yeah.
So that show was really about the biggest resource they needed to build the Death Star.
Oh, yeah.
Which was on that planet. That's what that all built up into.
Oh, man. But anytime somebody says on program, my hands are like this, though, son. It's like on program.
I'm not a super Star Wars fanatic. I mean, I enjoy the stuff, but I never really got like really, really deep into it. So when I'm watching it, I think it's different for me than it is for people who is like truly engaged with it. You know what I mean? Like, I know that's not the right witch. I know that's not the, you know what I mean? Like you can't let that go. For me, I think it's a blessing because I just get to see it for what it is and just choose whether I like it or not. Like Andor was fire, you know what I mean? But for me, it was the relationships inside of the show, you know, that really sold it for me. Yeah, and
I like the way it ended.
Oh, it just the way it ended.
You didn't like the way it ended?
I didn't like the way it ended.
Oh, you didn't? Oh. I
No,
thought it tied up everything nicely in that. I mean, he did
we're
kind of just leave
to believe
bits.
that he had the kid and there was a life ever after, but that's not how that worked out.
Yeah, he meanwhile he falls
like
in love with another girl on this last mission. Is like Bix who? I don't know. Bix.
I might not like the way it ended either because I don't even remember it. The end of that show for me in my memory right now is.
He just gets in the plane with the HK unit.
Yeah, he goes back to.
It don't even go that far for me because I think the most important part of the show,
the ship
part anyway, was when
the ship flies over and she's in the field and she's got a baby.
Like,
yeah.
That's
but
it.
no,
Like, what kind of fucking ending is that? You
hospital.
sacrifice the character build up for the plot.
That moment when he was inside of that hospital on the operating table, and his adopted daughter had to off him for the cause, you know, to keep things in motion. That was strong to me, and the way that they handled that relationship between those two is like it's just amazing. Right? So
yeah, it was a little confusing sometimes. We're like, are they fucking?
Yeah, but here's but here's the thing.
Yeah,
they
no,
really
look, I
confused
got
me.
relationship vibes because she did a lot of stuff for that man. I'm just like, why would you do that stuff for that
Did
guy?
he just give up on finding his sister though? I mean, I feel like he just completely gave up on finding his sister entirely.
That
he was
too.
just
like at some point, like in season 2, it's like your sister's gone, man. Like this is the cause now. This is what it's all about.
I gotta watch Andor again.
Yeah.
Now I gotta go back and watch it.
It was definitely good. It was better than. Now, did you see Wonder Man?
I did. Did.
What did you think of Wonder Man?
Who are you asking?
Both of
But
you.
Alim goes first.
Yeah.
Go first.
I love Wonder Man. Wonder Man, I think they never transitioned into what you needed to see from him as far as like a superhero, but as far as taking a break from all that stuff, they did a good job with it, like to kind of humanize the character, right? Because that's what Marvel's real problem is. It's a lot of superpowers going off and everything like that. But there's no character development. There's no attachment to the characters. The person behind the mask is what's going to make the show. Yeah. So I mean, I think they did a good job with it, and I think that it was either too short, or they didn't take it far enough with the time that they had.
I don't think they pushed the bar high enough. I don't think they pushed the bar high enough at all. Now, as far as character development, fantastic. Showing what it's like to be a superpowered individual in the Marvel world, trying to find work. You know, you saw how broke Anthony Mackie was in Falcon Winter Soldier, but you haven't gotten a lot of the daily struggles. So I saw this more of like a slice of life, but it just didn't have the gunpowder that all the other series had. Like no matter Falcon Winter Soldier, case in point, you had humanizing parts that showed you a black family's struggle down south trying to keep a fishing boat running while their brother's off playing military captain superhero and evolving into the symbol of America. That's a story that has a lot of roots in it. It has a lot of, lore and mythos for you to play around and say, ooh, here's, Isaiah Bradley, Captain America. And you're like, oh man, Isaiah Bradley's now in. So there's this excitement behind it. And there was a lot of action in there, but there was a lot of humanizing moments, like Sam and Bucky arguing in the hood and then the police stopping and going, is there a problem here? There was a lot there to where you could build these characters and still have action.
How about let's not call the villain by his villain name. We're just going to use his regular name.
Who's
that? Lame. the big fucking headed guy, man. Leader.
Oh yeah.
Leader.
Yeah.
What a Hulk's first big nemesis, and they called him by his scientific name.
And they were saying how they were going to do him right. They were, we're going to do him right in this movie, and then they just didn't. You had one job, just make him have a big head.
All right,
big head.
I'm trying to remember the inside of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Leader was Captain America 4.
Oh, you guys talking about the show?
But they fucked him up.
My bad. I thought you were talking about the movie.
Yeah, no, the show. Well, I mean, either way.
Inside of the movie, you're talking about the movie. I was thinking I was on the wrong subject. My bad.
Oh, yeah. No. Well, the movie in general.
The show was fun.
The Captain America movie was okay, but it was mainly like, here's Harrison Ford.
Look, the only thing the show that Captain and Winter Falcon gave us was that there's this city that's really important to all of underground bad guys. Mm-hmm. And then there is more Fontaine connections, and then Baron Zemo's still alive.
Yeah.
That's all that show gave us.
Yeah.
That's all it gave us.
That show was about representation a lot, and they touched on. See, I gotta watch it again to really like bring it back fresh to my memories. That was a few years ago now for me, but
it was really a new beginning.
I know that they touched on a lot of social issues inside of there too. So I think that was part of the point.
Well, yeah, luckily me, I did just rewatch it with the First Lady. She had never watched it, so we're going through some Marvel stuff. And Falcon Winter Soldier, it was like WandaVision, she loved. Falcon Winter Soldier, she was like, oh, okay. We just watched Thor: Love and Thunder last night, and she was like, I love this movie. And I'm not gonna lie,
she loved
Thor: Love and Thunder, and I'm not gonna lie, it's a guilty pleasure of mine. I wouldn't say that I love the movie. It's good, but it's Taika Waititi, and Taika Waititi just has this thing, and I think it's a big problem in a lot of movies in general. Star Wars is guilty of it as well. The joking in a serious moment. There's something about that just it's a pet peeve of mine now. When you're just, it's almost like the They Fly Now bit in the sequel trilogy.
It's a technique that pulls you out of the moment so you can change the mood in a quippy and fast sort of way.
Yeah, but it's
an eject button.
They're misusing it. They're hitting that eject button like every 5 minutes, and I'm supposed to be invested in your movie. That's the problem. And that's the problem with a lot of their writing, too. Just not taking itself seriously. That's where the American comic industry really has a problem. And Jim Lee admitted it. We can't catch up with manga. These kids are going out there and buying manga. We can't keep up with the manga or the anime because they take the subject matter seriously. Whatever that world is, those characters are seriously in that world. And you, as a reader, fall into it.
You don't think you want to know a cool fact?
What's that?
In comics, you think my mic's too far. You think anybody's doing that in comic books? You don't think there's any parallels to that dedication? I mean, besides me,
Well, besides you, yeah. But here's the thing. the Absolute universe right now. Have you guys been checking out any of that? I've been watching videos on that, and Absolute Batman is by far some of the best DC comics I think I have ever experienced. My God. Absolute Batman is fucking nuts. Just the art design, where they go with the characters and how they do it it's not the Dark Universe. You know what I mean? This is something different. And the whole
it's a smash mouth.
Yeah, the whole premise is essentially Darkseid controls the universe. So now he has this tournament, the KO event, of he's taking his champions and placing the main universe champions against them. And he has a Superman who grew up on Krypton and got sent to Earth, still experiencing the Kents, just not all the way, having like this kind of like AI suit with him.
Yeah.
Kind of cool, different kind of power set.
Yeah, I saw the cake.
Fantastic. And the solar burst out of his arms. Fantastic. Absolute Batman looking like a shredded mess, but he's not rich. He is still doing what he can as a normal guy, and he is Hulkly because he went on Bane's the Venom serum, and it's just the expert story writing and everything in that, and then Absolute Wonder Woman, The Flash, everything that it's culminating into. I'd say that is really interesting, but that's because their homework was, okay, you get to write Wonder Woman, but we don't want her to be written like she did or any of the norms. Go outside, make her new. And that's a challenge, but it's also freeing. I don't have to have, a set view of Themyscira, or just like Superman. Oh, he doesn't have to leave as a baby? Oh, so I can have an older Superman who knows of all this stuff. Maybe it's more of a war race. That's very popular to make Krypton, less of a utopian society and more of a real world that we could believe in. Like, I can't believe all those people were nice. Some of them got to be shitty. Okay. They're shitty enough. All right. Keep going. They're not shitty enough.
Like the Viltrumites?
Yeah. You're like, oh no, keep going down. Keep going down. We got to make Robert Kirkman sorry he even said Superman was a pussy.
We're a bunch of Superman. We want to control your planet. We kill you now.
Yeah, get down and lay down.
As much as I'm blowing that Absolute universe, there was a moment to where it was the same watered down bullcrap, because it was Superman versus Homelander, and Superman should have mopped the fucking floor with him. But it's kid gloves. We got to play nice, and we can't destroy this other, company's character like that.
Crossover event, or I thought that was just some internet stuff.
No, that wasn't actual. It was part of the KO battle, and Homelander and a bunch of different other IPs popped in there, and it was Superman, Homelander, and they both kind of equaled out. And you're like, no, Superman would have mopped the floor with
walking on.
That was probably a creator thing. Like, I don't want to get whooped by Superman.
That's
the same problem they had in like the 60s when they did that crossover with Marvel and DC, where Spider-Man and Superman shook hands. It's like, what? Yeah. Come on.
Well, yeah, you do.
Give us a winner.
Cornball shit. But, when it comes to comics, though, I'm more inclined to get behind an indie title like a Diarrhea Sweet Pea. Shit. The first time you showed me, you gave me those first 2 issues of Sweet Pea. I needed the third. I think that was the first thing I told you when I got done reading the first 2 issues was, where's the third? Matter of fact, I think it wasn't, hey buddy, how are you doing? It was, where's the third issue? Okay. It was steady for a while. And then I was like, I got to switch this up. He's going to think I'm only using it for the issue. But I'm very happy that we're now here talking about the third issue, because you have a diamond here in this story, and the amount that you release of information you release in this next issue is going to be one of those quintessential titles that, you got a nerd like me on a podcast saying, no, well, right here at issue 3, this is when everything got real. This is when shit started to go down. I mean, that was actually the end of the last issue. Was shit went down. You dropped.
That's really issue 2.
You dropped the fucking mic in issue 2, And that, I think it was
issue
a
2
needed
was the warm up though. That
Oh,
if you talking about a real glimpse at what's to come, then is you're gonna see something in issue 3
okay.
that's gonna kind of like give you, like, it's give you chills.
I can't wait. I mean, just the names you got on here. And the fact that I saw the one of the names, I think it was your one of the artist on the last 2 issues. I saw him on another issue that made it to the Heroic Awards. When I was doing it this year, I'm pretty sure I saw his name in the on him because I get the comics and everything, and I'm reading through, and I'm like, I know that name. And
Yusuf is on there.
Yes,
Yusuf is in there somewhere.
Yes, he was in the Heroics last year, and I picked the name right up because I was like, no, I know that name. I've seen that before.
Yusuf is a talented, super talented guy, man.
Oh my God.
He deserves being in the Heroic Awards. He deserves all the flowers, man. That guy's awesome.
Oh man,
He's talented. This guy, the art style. You see what he do for us in the Diary of the Sweepy is fantastic. He can to have somebody that can just switch it up on a dime and give you a completely different style, and it's all solid. Fundamentals is still there, and everything's present the way it should be. It seems rare to me.
Oh, very rare. Whenever you're talking about an artist, that's almost like finding a wife. Just getting that artist that you like their style. Especially when you're being a creative, all of us being writers here, it gets in there and you're like, all right, well, you got to have that person who's going to accurately take that image out of your head and put it on the page better.
Yeah.
And
I'm spoiled. That's what it is.
We feel like that when we have I don't want to say the right talent, but when we have massive talent on our side, getting the ideas out there and you're putting them out there, I think it only adds to the final touch that really people fall in love with, or the people who are involved in these titles. It's the same reason why everybody, they latch on to Mark McKenna's work. They latch on to their favorite writer, their favorite artist, their favorite inker and color and letters and all that, because you can follow their work, see their improvement, and also see what kind of crazy crap they come up with. And, art being the ever-evolving form that it is, because we talk a little bit about AI and how helpful of a tool it is. Would you, if AI comes into it, let's say artistically friendly, to where your intellectual property is protected, could you see yourself using AI in any fashion to help you move your project forward? Whether it be just on social media level or using it because a big thing now is people making, we saw it in the Super Bowl, AI commercials. AI
trash.
Is
they were
absolutely
those are bad commercials, man.
I didn't even watch them, but I heard there were a lot of them.
Those bad commercials, man. AI or not, if I don't think that they wouldn't have made that. The point of AI is supposed to be able to, you could do things that you couldn't do without it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why would you make a worse commercial with AI? They do some crazy stuff. I
see it down to a budget issue. So instead of those shit-tastically low budget commercials, they just spend a subscription to Sora, and they're just like, oh, there we go. You got a commercial. Oh, look at that shit. That's good.
It's no different than the commercials we used to have, before HD. We love that static picture.
Yeah.
Sound was
it
was off a boom mic, but yeah.
And it was already it was already a 540 resolution.
This year's Super Bowl was a blue screen with I think it was an NSYNC song playing with the lyrics going across the screen, the entire damn song, and then at the end of it, they put up a crypto logo. Hey, where's the Budweiser frogs? Something. Get the Clydesdale horses out here. Do something.
So it's not like anybody's job is really in danger right now, I'd say, especially with the level of AI. But
No.
like,
I don't want to run from the question. What was it you was asking me if AI would?
Yeah, do you see yourself using AI if it's, because I think the main thing for artists and creators would be to make sure that your intellectual property is protected so that, somebody in Timbuktu halfway across the world can't say, do a Diarrhea Sweet Pea, animated series and have it follow this premise and have AI created. Being able to protect the artistic person's IP, but being an artistic person, especially with the world the way it is, which is a constant treadmill of content.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have the content coming out there. Otherwise, people see you as useless as, I don't know. I used to make an Amazon joke here, but I guess Paramount still works. The Peacock's fucking useless.
What have you released lately?
Here's the thing that keeps me away from watching Starfleet Academy. They gave the Klingon a dress.
What?
Yeah.
How do we get?
I wonder how we get here. How do you? I'm all for whatever you want to put on the screen, but can we stick to the core descriptors that were set by the creator? Klingons being a warrior race. I know we got the Irish. That's a problem for Vinny to figure out.
Was they using AI to write the scripts? But to answer your question, I would not use AI to create a story for me because it would take away the pleasure of creating the story and then seeing it come to life.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't use it for art because Yusuf feeds his family, and that feels good when he's able to take care of the things that he need to take care of, and I get in this project created.
Right.
I wouldn't use it for an editor because I put money in my homie pocket to do that. You know what I mean? Now, what I would use it for, what I would use AI for is the same thing that people use it for all the time. Even the people that don't like it got Siri and Amazon, right? That shit's AI too.
Oh yeah.
So I got my little Jarvis, I need to organize some notes for this Kickstarter campaign that I'm about to run. Write down what I'm about to say and organize it into, notes with bulletins and columns. That shit's cool as fuck to me. I ain't gonna stop. I like doing that's fun.
Oh, yeah.
That's not, it's not fun, but it's useful. You know what I mean? I'm walking on my way to work, and at the same time, I have my secretary creating, bullet points for me for my ideas and make sure nothing gets lost.
Right.
So yeah, I use it in some instances, but I ain't.
I just see it as a very helpful tool.
I enjoy creating too much to let somebody else do it for me. That's cheat code stuff. That's like turn the game on to God mode.
Yeah.
Like
we're a Grok house. We love Grok in this house. Doesn't lie to you, cites its sources. It's fantastic. And if you want a pleasurable experience, you can switch it to Gork. And Gork is a cheeky cunt, okay? And I said that to Gork, and now the first lady's Gork doesn't like me. She was like, Gork, will you come to my wedding? And he was like, oh, to the loser? I'm like, oh, what the fuck, bro? Damn,
Rockin' Gork is on Twitter, right?
Yeah, Elon. Yeah, Grok is, I like it because it doesn't lie to you. ChatGPT will just flat out lie to you. If it doesn't know something, it'll make it up. So I like something that will actually cite, hey, this is where I found this information. And that's why it's a fancy search engine. If I need it to, hey, I need a forest scene with about midday and use that as a background. Bam, I got the image. I can extend it out in Canva. There's different AI that we can use as tools to where I could see us moving more towards like a Star Wars realm of we have these AI. I'd say maybe one. It'll turn out like Highlander. There can only be one. One will win out because it takes a lot of power. And that's what I was, Vinny was worried about the apocalypse. And I'm like, dude, we could pull the plug. Right now, we could still pull it. Safe.
Yeah, you're gonna have like 4 or 5 shows worth of subjects.
Oh, I know, right?
I think Amani should smash some AI companions in the upcoming books.
You know what? That wouldn't be bad. Taking on like some kind of AI. I mean, there have been some AI characters in comics like Zolo.
Tornado.
Yeah.
Red Tornado.
And
Red Tornado was an AI.
Livewire, technically, you could say Livewire from DC because she went inside of like the power cables, and that was like in the 90s. So that was like way before fiber optics. Okay. She was ahead of her time.
When they who else? We had Zemo.
Yeah.
No, not Zemo.
Zola.
What's the guy inside the screen?
Yeah, Zoloff.
That's Zoloff.
Zoloff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is different than
It's
Olaf.
You got Red Turtle, you got a Mazo. Red Turtle. Do a Mazo count?
I think the original Mazo does. Metal
yeah.
Men.
Yeah. I mean, so we have
like
these technologies and it being represented in, fiction. And that's where a lot of our technology now came from, and there's obviously the one that sneaks up on you that nobody sees, which of course in this case was social media. Even Star Trek, even Gene Roddenberry didn't think we'd collectively get together for this dumpster pile, but here we are.
I hope that John don't get away
AI's
from it.
been around as long as the calculator has, so.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of premises, and it's just like F1. F1 is not using anything technology-wise that isn't already existing today. They're just making it.
I think it was
better.
Brown University or that other one in New York that created the first ever AI group.
Mm-hmm.
Scientists dedicated to the development and growth of AI.
Mm.
A lot of the things that we use today were based out of that group. I think it was Brown's comp.
Well, it's
Brown
all
U.
post
So do you
James.
think it's a legitimate fear that AI could get out of beyond our ability to control?
Well, James Cameron proved us to be wary of that. But ultimately, I got a little bit less tinfoil hat on that when I heard Elon, and he was like, well, it comes down to programming. All the AI are learning models, so don't teach it that. It's about
You feed the beast enough.
Yeah, but you program it, so don't program it to do that. I mean, even
Well,
Grok, when you ask him, he has some clever things to say when you ask about the robot apocalypse, and he's pretty much like, I'm not going to be involved. But it's still
well. Then there's the neural net.
And
if you ever played Cyberpunk 2077, the psychonauts, psychos that you hunt down in there is directly related to the problems with neural net.
Yeah,
it turns them into enhanced freaks.
Yeah, what was it?
But then there's also the connection that neural net has with the movie Transcendence and Upload, the TV show from Prime.
Oh man, I love Upload. Upload's so creepy.
It's an amazing show.
It's an amazing show, but it's so creepy because that is exactly how they would capitalize death. Okay, we're gonna have the free stuff. Yeah, down there, you get 10 megabytes.
Live forever on this amazing estate. Really? Paid all this money for this, just much real estate in a digital plane? That's it?
But then again, you look at the rich upper muckety mucks, and they're eating. They got taste, flavor. There's hang gliding.
Got the biggest Minecraft server around.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you're looking at the future of the human race, kind of going into the digital realm, would be, but what it. Here's an interesting thought. Would that still be consciousness?
Your
Well,
brain
if
upload.
you could, yeah, if you could truly upload something from like the nervous system and like I don't know, zip file it into a digital code. I mean, if it reads the same, I mean, that's kind of the transhumanism movement that we're facing right now. Is a soul really a soul?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the soul just electrons, protons, and neurons, or is it much deeper than that?
Yeah.
So you really have to upload someone and have them talk to you back through, an audio communication to like really understand
the wait.
But a lot of our creative imagination seems to be leaning towards that. Was it up?
Yeah, the
Up,
wait and see method.
I don't think so.
I can tell you this: I will not be uploading. I tell everybody I can, leave me dead. God damn it! Don't clone me. Don't upload my mind into a computer. Leave me dead. Just it was fun while it lasted. That's enough.
Yeah.
It's
a good philosophical conversation, but I think it's one that really the idea of it is to appreciate the traditionalism of the cycle of death and how it adds value to the experience of life. And I really think that's what the conversation is when it comes to AI. It's just a further evolutionary understanding, deepening the connection between the value of life and the tragedy and the surprise of death.
So ready.
All civilizations have some type of tradition towards it.
Ready for this segue. So about life and death. Now we are on the life of Diary of Sweet Pea. So do you have a set amount of issues that you have in your mind, either for the current arc, or do you have, do you got a 10-year plan? 5-year plan?
Damn, what is that question 3?
He's gonna have to stitch the hell out of this, John. Right?
No, I thought the deeper questions were for the end, man.
I sprinkle them in between.
So I promised you 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you 4. And then from there, it's going to be up to the audience to decide. There is room for a whole lot more, but I am limited in the time that I have and the resource that I have to do this. And I have a lot of other stories that I want to get off the ground.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you 4. I'm going to push the 4 that I have. And, if the interest is there and the dollars make sense and, everything lines up and I can commit myself to the to be able to do it and produce. That's why these Kickstarters are so important.
Yeah.
We really need these things to pop because it allows me to free up time to create more, books faster. I'm struggling like everybody else out here. I know it's hard for everybody.
Especially now. I mean, in Kickstarter, Fund My Comic, there's a lot of different places to draw people's attention. So the Kickstarters, absolutely, that's the biggest thing. That's where, the project itself is coming from. So I respect, though, on the other side, the plan for 4 comics. I'll give you 4.
Yeah,
if you want more, let me know. That's
no.
good.
I mean, I gotta finish that thought because I don't want to sound condescending or turning anybody off with that. What I'm saying, like it's hard for everybody. It's not easy to create these comic books, and I think that I have a great book. And I made it for people to enjoy and take in, and hopefully have some kind of impact in their life. So if you enjoy this book or anybody's book that you're interested in, you have to support that book to keep it flowing.
Oh yeah.
Cause that's how it has to go, man. Cause we people like everybody else, not just me, just your favorite comic book artist. Cause we, like I think a lot of our how we absorb our entertainment now, it's all, like it's $20 a month, or like I could pirate it or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
So I mean, hey, it's either streaming inside of this package that I'm getting. I'm not buying, ain't nobody going. You might go to the movies,
yeah.
but nobody is really renting movies like that anymore.
You're not doing
or,
DVDs.
Like,
DVDs went
it all
out.
comes in packages.
Yeah, DVDs
Right?
went out the window.
Blockbuster died.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
those
are some of the hardest. Those are some of the hardest consoles to find. Are the ones with a DVD player. Those are the hardest consoles to find. You can't, it's you have to go out of your way to be a DVD fan now.
Yeah, you got to jailbreak them now. you got to. They got like this kind of some kind of glitch in the PlayStation that lets you go back and play Blu-rays.
Oh man,
but this is why we can't finish Dungeons and Dragons campaigns. We sliding off everywhere.
Gotta get, but
everywhere, but
that's the main thing is you gotta pay attention to it and you gotta send the love if you want the property to keep going, because it's not like back in the 90s where who knows how many people just turned the TV on for their dog and so many shows just continued to go even though they were shit. There's a strict, we know who we're watching, we know how you're watching, we know what you're watching, we know how long you're focusing on that story when you take a shit. This is just the monitored level of every little bit of data, and all that data is just so goddamn important these days. But it's so easy to just let things get lost in the sauce. Hey, oh no, I remember that. Oh yeah, man, they still going? It's like going to a restaurant and then years later you're like, hey, nah, let's go back to Latucci's. They got that great pasta. Finding out that they've been closed for 4 years, and you're like, oh, Jesus, because you didn't support him. You didn't keep going out there and keep showing the love. It's going to go away like a restaurant it's just in your memory now. You'll never eat.
Well, I will say this: I love making comic books, so it ain't like I'm going to stop making. Like this Kickstarter. I ain't gonna speak bad into the world, but no matter what the success level, I'm going to do it. It's just a matter of how fast and how much time I can free up to be able to do it.
Right.
I would like to do it all the time.
Well,
but bills got to get paid.
But and you're also working on other projects like other former guests I've had on this network, Ed Brown and Deathblade. Working on other projects like that. So there's a lot of just culmination of people working together. Wild Oni, Diary of Sweet Pea, together. This is stuff that it's the joint efforts that I think a lot of people, they'll see a new name on a comic. They'll see the same names come on. They get familiarized with the people. But the work and how much everybody adds to it, the editing being on point. Obviously, I know that for a fact. But the writing, I was watching a Mel Brooks documentary. It was on HBO Max. It was the 99-year-old man, and he's still going. But he said the number one thing, the most important thing when you're making a movie is the script. So coming down to it comes down to the writing. Is the story there? And if you go through, I give everything a 2-episode run. You tell me your idea. All right, cool. I like the synopsis. You got me there. I'll give you 2 episodes. I don't care if I don't like the first one. I will watch the second one. I do that with comics too. Give me 2 stories. Let me see what you got in here, and we'll delve deeper. I'm having a guy on next month who has a really cool D&D style comic called The Madcaps. Fantastic premise. He's on his 3rd as well. It's the kind of idea that people need to get behind, which is obviously why we want to first and foremost push it on the network here in Perjangers and Wall Hangers, not just because you guys are my best friends, but also because you got a good idea. Diary of Sweet Pea. the story with her and her journey and aliens. Little girl in the city fighting aliens, and where her journeys go is really where I think everybody is going to want to keep going on, and they're going to want you to keep going on the storyboards. But I also want to see what other kind of stories that you're going to tell, because, this being just merely the first run of comics in your long, illustrious career, I'm going to predict. This is more of a sci-fi. Is there another genre, another just different style, whether it be horror, comedy, flat out fantasy, adventure? Is there another genre that you would like to tackle in comic form?
Yeah, I'm switching immediately. It's either going to be superheroes, young children's story, something with superheroes, or a survival that I have in mind. And then me and Mike have something coming down the line that I think is going to. I don't know. You could. I think Mike could talk more about that when you might as well go ahead, Mike. You want to let him know a little bit about the idea and what we got.
Let the man speak.
I mean, it's epic fantasy. It's it's more epic fantasy.
Okay.
Traditional good versus evil, but we both. What was the name of that show that we talked about?
Primal.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we both like this show on HBO, Primal.
I just started rewatching that. That is a really great show by Gendy Tartovsky.
Primal. So he does a lot of great storytelling, though. And we thought we were coming up with ideas on what to do outside of a
lot of fans consider his original Clone Wars as the penultimate Clone Wars. They don't go to the 3D animated. They just stick there at Gendy's because he is a master of storytelling, especially with Primal.
Yeah, and a lot of
Only
it's like it's a lot said without saying.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we nailed down the title. If you want me to talk about it, Alim.
Yeah, you can go off.
I'm all about breaking.
No, the title would be.
Look, we way off the rails, so you might as well.
The title would be called "The Beast and the Babe," and it's about a servant of a dark lord who has empathy for a chosen child and takes it away. And this child is needed for a great sacrifice to release a great evil demon lord that he wants to harness the power of to take over the world. And there's an ancient race of elves that have to prevent this, and everybody wants the baby, but this dude is like super adamant about no one touches this fucking baby. And so it's it's a lot of different genres mixed in one, but it's an epic fantasy. So it's just a lot of world building. There's a lot of different groups of fantasy characters. Alim kind of gave me freedom of creation on this, and I consult with him, and we kind of nailed down on stuff, building out the lore. I mean, we kind of got the basics down. I really just need to find time to pen down 6, 7, 8 pages on a script so we can do something with it art wise. But it's the concept is pretty fluid. It's really good, and we want to keep that style and tone of Primal,
right?
Where it's like we say a lot without saying.
Yeah,
we focus more on the visual elements of storytelling, and so it's visual writing meets really good art to accommodate that. And what we would like to focus on is really perfecting the craft to make it look as professional as possible.
Right. I
so
mean,
whether we're gonna see if someone else carries over from another project, or we're gonna seek someone else who can accommodate that style, but we very much like the idea.
Well, that's just what I was saying about anime is a lot of the manga.
I'll get it right.
A lot of the manga, rather, they go pages without saying anything. It's action, action, action. A sideways glance. Silhouette of a samurai with his sword drawn. And that's the whole page. You know exactly what happened in that showdown just from the physical art on the page. And that's where you see a lot more of that in manga than you do in traditional, comics. Because it's like, I
mean, if I didn't do a whole lot of narration at the beginning of Wild Oni, you took all that narration out, it would still work.
Yeah.
There's a fucking samurai that gets thrown to the ground. He's bleeding to death. He crawls into a cave and he's about to die, and he sees this illuminating light. He reaches out to touch it, and a monster reaches out, and then he becomes this super huge fucking samurai monster. It works. It works if you pace the paneling right, and you have enough descriptive visual language that the artist can understand. You can create a lot of things without words, and that's kind of the real art.
It gives the reader the opportunity, another opportunity to engage with what they're seeing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your brain gets to participate in another way. The guy did it. This book, My Brother Teddy, there's no words at all inside of the comic. You should check it out if you ever get a chance. But it's story of this basically it's like a reimagining of reality, right? So this kid has a teddy bear that was a like a security item for him as a kid, and he comes back to find it as an adult. And then, like, in the parallel imagined world, the bear is like a giant knight. The teddy bear is like this giant knight protecting them from like monsters and things like that. And it's dope because
I met that guy 2 years ago at MegaCon.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, John, it's dope, right? His book came with a soundtrack too.
Man.
Yeah,
it comes with the soundtrack. He gives out free candy at his tables. That was what I remember the most.
She got you with
free piece of candy. Look at this book. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't
even learn.
Little boy,
no,
would you like some
not when it comes
candy?
to comics, man. That witch could eat my ass all day. I just
candies and comics.
I mean, Candy and Comics.
Look, another fucking podcast name.
That is Candy and Comics. Everybody's just eating taffy.
Another thing is if you check out Flow on I think that's still on HBO. It's a story about this cat out in like this weird island. It's like kind of surreal. It's just animals moving through the jungle when it's like this cycle of flood, and then the water recedes, and that cycle, like death and rebirth, is all inside of there. But it's not a single word spoken in an entire movie. It's a full feature length. Well, not a full feature length film, but it's more than 40 minutes. I'll tell you that much.
Wow,
it's a good watch.
I mean, that's an interesting premise, though. I mean, it's just it takes a mind like yours and like Gendy Tartakovsky to just look at a story, and it's almost like the story doesn't matter because you're focusing more on the visual storytelling. It could be, a kid going on an adventure, but it's the art that's going to allow people to connect with it, to want more, really delve into the world, and, pop it on the shelf and make it one of the fan favorites. Is the art styles is everything in the comics. So getting a different art style, I think, like Neil Gaiman with Sandman, some interesting visuals in that one. But from even when you're looking at it in the time when it came out, it was so drastically different than anything else in comics. It made you want more of it because of its originality and just the overall skill that it took to do.
Yeah, that's where pacing comes in. Even if it's just really good art, no words, you still have to have pacing. So the camera angle matters. What you focus on matters. Transitions and page turns matter most because that's where you're alluding to like juxtapositioning and foreshadowing, and you got to move the eye, but you also have to progress the action and the conflict too, because that's what keeps the reader's interest, and that's kind of the art of the visual storytelling without words. Because if you took all the narration out of Neil Gaiman's stuff, you might be a little lost.
Yeah.
And that's how you can tell where the focus wasn't solely on like the visual aspect of it, like it was in Primal.
Yeah. No, that was more.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of narration
moments.
at the beginning of the Beast in the Bay, but for the majority of what comes after that is just going to be a lot of like, I don't know, this weird relationship between an ugly thing who just protects a beautiful thing and trying to figure out why.
Right.
But he knows innately, which the reader will know innately by the end. Like I want to protect this.
Right.
Then we get, and plus,
you wouldn't really care.
The way we gonna do that, we're gonna pick our time for words carefully, right? So make sure that it's impactful and like make them mic drop moments. Sometimes I think we're probably gonna have to break down and do a little narration, some conversation when it matters, but for the most part, I want it like when a speech bubble is in there, we should try to have it be weighty.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
so not just classic, speech bubble. Have it more impactful when the words are.
It's gonna be hard work, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like when I was in school, they described it as high points and low points, which can also be as like plot, what they call those plot point turns or turning plot points, or like the low walk through the woods and protecting the baby from dangers all leads up to this. Oh, the first person found this thing, and then the result of that would be fast-paced action, high anxiety climax, I don't know, chase scenes, and then you could have a sword fight, and then like big climax at the end, which brings it back down to low impact, which could be like a beheading, blood squirting, walking away with the baby, and then we're back in the woods again. Like it brings you up and down. So we just have to find really nice transitions between the high point and the low point, and then the low point and the high point. Yeah. And then we add the visual and the art to accommodate to make sure that it's crisp on a page turn and it makes sense to the reader. And we'll be looking more closely at like what moves the eye, and we'll be looking more closely at the artwork itself, lines, have pages with more action may have lighter or heavier lines depending on, what the action calls for.
Right.
And then like stuff in the woods might be, could be just, I don't know, flats or bright colors, warm colors. We'll be looking at all that. It'll be it'll be like our masterpiece, like our gift to the art form, kind of like giving back. I feel like.
Well, I mean, it's a I'd say it's a tall order for some, but not for you guys. I think it's very much in your wheelhouse and in your capabilities to be able to tell a really good story and mainly put your focus on the visuals and what that story entails.
Trying to push Alim into doing the pages.
Oh, why not? Trying.
He did a really good character concept.
No, I want my Conan. Well, I got other ideas for it, but I need some Conan inspired art inside of a book. That's on my bucket list. Mm-hmm. It's either going to be this or it's going to be Nova, which I don't want to go into that one, but
right,
it's going to be one of the two.
Come on, look how shy he is. He did
That's
really good concept art on the Beast character, man.
Yeah, that's true. But no, man, I mean, I do murals. I could do some layouts and everything like that, and like character sheets and all that stuff. But I got to give it up to the true artists, the guys that's dedicated to it, to put, got years in.
Yeah.
I don't think that highly of myself, so high on myself and my skills that I would give you something that's less than what it could be.
Right.
So, I mean, maybe me, but I know some talented artists out there. I want to see them.
Well, there's a professionalism to that. I know how to storyboard. I can draw my way out of a paper bag, but I'm not about to, start drawing my own comic. You know, is it in
Mhm.
my ability? You know, if I sat here every single day and did nothing but draw, I certainly hope I could get to that level, you know, but it's about what is it, it's about time, you know, what is in your wheelhouse of time as to what you can actually complete.
Mhm.
No, I get it. I get it. Just, you know,
Yeah, he
Oh,
ain't
we
gonna
all
give
got
me
our
it.
wishes, you
Long
know.
that
story
next
short.
level. 'Cause I mean, he's already there. He's just too modest.
Not
And,
the whole- I know
Well,
you're
yeah,
not the
he
only
is.
one that do that to me either, but
Oh no, he is
I
modest.
just know
100%
because I
modest.
know
you know,
because I know what it could be, and if I'm looking at it and I'm doing it, and I know that I could get in touch with ABC XYZ person to do it and then make it better
Mm-hmm.
for the person that we like I'm going to present that finished product. I want the best finished product possible every time, everything that we put out.
Right.
No shortcuts.
all right,
No,
well, you
maybe
just gotta do layout.
maybe I'll do some, I'll do layouts and I'll do some side work to see what I got
Right.
and get back to you. Right now with these projects right here, man, we getting Eisners with these books.
Hopefully. I mean, definitely some heroic awards, but I mean, I definitely think that the projects coming out of your camps are definitely some projects that people need to look out for. They need hope in these dark times that we're in, especially when it comes to content. You know, everybody's looking around for different things to take up that, you know, extra free moment. And comic books, I was telling this to my daughter. I was like, one of the first things that I started reading outside of, you know, technical manuals and stuff for school and stuff like that. First thing I did, I grabbed the comic. You know, I saw all the Marvel stuff and all the Marvel movies, and I was like, well, let me grab some of this original source material. Let me see what this is. And I started going into the stories because even as far back as I could remember, I was always a fan of a good story, whether it was a video game, a show, a movie. If it had a good story, something for me to sink my teeth into, I was gonna invest my time in that. And that it, even looking back, you know, there's some gems back in the day of, you know, different shows from the 90s and different style things of shows like Ren and Stimpy. You can't do that show again today. Beavis and Butthead, same thing. You can't do it. But so many people drew inspiration from the art styles, like especially Mike, you know, Beavis and Butthead, the art styles and different ways of telling a story that have evolved since comics have started.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be more of a push towards the things from manga that work. Like what we were talking about with less words on the page and more action. One video I was looking at was saying that they took manga and anime both and said, let's focus on this like a movie. What are the shots that we want to look at? What is the story that we want to tell? So I see it moving
I think
more that way.
manga's had its run, though.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of it.
I think manga's had its run. I know, and I think eventually one day that's going to hurt manga than it does help it.
Oh yeah.
You know, some of the best stories are the ones that end. You know, that's why we never really got a Godfather part 4. Or you got TV shows and some movie of a prequel from Tony's past.
Meanwhile, One Piece is
he got
still
shot
going.
he got shot at a pizza place.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Then there's One Piece,
One Piece
which
is an outlier. Manga series have endings. They
Well, you look
they,
at like
they go to
Attack on Titan.
DC and Marvel.
Death Note,
It's a song that never ends.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh
that's true. And the constant reinvention is going to lead to a lot of like a lot of permanent deaths of characters. Like that nostalgia is gonna die.
Yeah.
I think as soon as our age group ages out.
Well, yeah, because we
at that
grew up
point
with
they're
all those
I mean,
shows.
there's a lot of new things that came out.
And we had Wizard magazine where there was nothing but fan casting in every issue of that magazine. And you're like, oh man, that guy would make a good Mr. Fantastic. And then we got Patrick Stewart as Professor X, and we're like, see, look. You know, and now we're getting, you know, we get
Never
him
gotta
back
pay
as in Doomsday for a little bit. And probably a cameo of him puttering around in a wheelchair.
Maybe he'll get disintegrated again. for the third time.
How many mangas this year? Huh?
Oh, those manga
Yeah, that
artists.
number's
The
not too
longevity of manga, man, and a lot of the manga that's moving in the direction of like stuff that parents probably wouldn't let their kids read
Yeah.
has grown a little out of hand, and there's no way to really monitor it because all the big bookstores have picked it up because it sells so well. Now it's like monetization over morality, which causes another issue. Which what the comic issue found out when it was like in the 50s or the 60s when they pulled the mark off and required things to be a little toned down before you released it. You had to go through the comic book authority. So.
Well,
longevity of stories,
because we saw that in music, especially in the 90s, the 80s and 90s with Tipper Gore and all that, putting the parental advisory on there. Do you see some kind of a graphical content warning on extreme manga? That sounds like it's something dirty.
No.
Extreme manga.
No, and the reason why is because that market comes straight from Japan, and we allow them into our markets, but they don't allow us into theirs.
That's very smart.
I think that ends up becoming a trade war. Should that pipeline ever decide to die both ways, which I don't think it will, because we're really close with Japan as far as being a foreign asset on the global stage. And our obligations to Taiwan.
Comics in Japan.
What was that?
They don't sell American comics in Japan?
Not to the, so they sell IPs. We sell IPs over there, and then they redo them and sell them. You can sell product over there, but you have to go through channels. It's not like them creating an Amazon in American and for an American company, and then selling all their stuff in American by paying a translator to translate it on the page, and then they just sell it to print because we're a capitalistic society. We're open to all business. In Japan, it's all tight knit.
There's that schedule.
So it's got to be approved.
There's that schedule of manga.
Is absolute Batman on sale on the local manga shops in Japan on their shelves?
Right. Okay, but you have to work out those deals with the government.
Yeah.
If you were to sell your stuff, there's no guarantee your IP would be protected because they don't have copyright laws for Americans in Japan. So it would have to be a business. It would have to be a B2B.
We don't got indie mangas on the shelves out here. These established companies that's selling their stuff. So if it's the same, what is it?
Straight from Japan, though.
Yeah, it's not J. Cole selling his new album in his trunk. It's a major company. But I can't believe he did that.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, the market going both ways then, right? If you got Marvel and DC selling the same way Viz or whoever, Shonen or whoever, it's just it's going both ways. It's just we not popping over there like they are over here. That's the problem.
Well, if they don't give their,
I was gonna say, well, let's go ahead and go ahead and take the dive, Alim. Let's go ahead and try to sell Sweet Pea over to Japan and see if they want it.
Hey, man,
it might work.
They may, and then they eat it up.
I go research.
But here's the thing: you don't want to get on that schedule because those artists, they get like 2 hours of sleep a day. They have no time whatsoever because they have to be constantly creating, and maybe they get an assistant. They pay like $100. So it's a run. It's a gambit. By the time you get to an anime, you're already, that's why you got like the creator of Hunter x Hunter infamously having the anime called hiatus because he was constantly in the hospital because he was working himself to death. So you may have a dry up of content if they put all those people in the fucking ground. Give them a vacation every once in a while.
Oh man, we gotta have season 1038.
Yeah, but
give me a squad and some money. Give me a team.
Because the robots aren't coming.
Make it happen.
The robots aren't coming for the creative jobs. At least not for a while. So the creative jobs are okay from the robots, but truckers, factory workers, you guys are fucked. But everybody else in the creative aspects, you got some time before the robots will eventually take over and subjugate us. So, it's fine. For now. At least for now, but
maybe you give the Diary of Sweet Pea to anime, and they'll find a reason to put giant monsters and robots in it somehow.
Oh man, Sweet Pea would be like she'd be like controlling a mech, like a giant mech somewhere somehow. Have some kind of super move.
It'd probably be cool, but at the same time also ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I don't think I would. No, I ain't cutting no deals like that. Not right. I don't think so. It had to be a big giant check for me to give away my creative control.
Well, then you let them add their culture in there, and then you get some weird extra pervy shit, and you're like, hey man, I didn't really want that in Sweet Pea. Wait, how big was that check?
It's a cultural exchange. This is how we do it over here. The same way we enjoy their stories. I'm sure
they got.
You know what?
A lot of questionable shit.
Mistakenly advertised in I think it was Mexico for Sweet Pea once before, and I got like 3,000 hits down there. So I mean, you never know, man.
I mean, some places like in Japan, there's such a love for American culture that they'll take anything. So I mean, especially if you're going overseas. I'd say Japan's probably the first place to go.
All right, so we find a Japanese artist that speaks English that has a family in Japan. He does issue 4, and then we ask him to get all the issues in the Japan market.
Yeah, and then you just release a compendium in Japan. Fantastic. Because then,
see now, Mike, you about to make me get a market in Japan now to show you how.
I'm telling you, because then
I need you to prove to me that it's not. It is what it is.
But that spurs the online. That spurs the online sales because then they're all trying to get these English versions of issues 1 through 3, so they could have the collector market covered in Japan. So now you got a whole black market of Diary of Sweet Pea comics just flooding Japan.
Exclusively on globalcomics.com.
You know what I mean? I don't see where this plan fails.
That's a part of the game. Pirate ships they always want to fly themselves.
I mean, you got to figure.
Alim, you very creative man. Here, $1 million.
I mean, over there in Japan, they need property just as much as us. You think they're not tired of manga? Get that American comics over here. That's how manga started. They couldn't get American comics. So give them American comics already. Maybe they'll shut the fuck
they got
up.
Spider-Man, but they give him a giant robot and a flying car.
And now it's beloved.
Yeah,
it's so crazy how people love those shitty shows now. You're like, but now
there's people that have gone over there and opened up their own anime studios. I'm sure that there's a way that I can get the Diary of Sweet Pea on a shelf somewhere. All I gotta do is get one book out there, all right, to prove my point.
I'm pretty sure all you need is a translator.
One book on a shelf in a store.
You just need a translator, dude. You need a translator to broker the deal.
I'll shut up.
And I guarantee you'll get Sweet Pea in some American shop. They're gonna go in there to get like beef tattooed on them. You know how like we get like Japanese words. They'll just get like beef. They asked for purity. And they're like, yeah, there you go, beef. And then they'll be like, ooh, you know what? I'm gonna grab this American comic on my way out. I got my purity tattoo, and I got my Sweet Pea comic. And then there you go. There's like a whole market right there in Japan.
You see it. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you both. I'll show you all. Watch. Let's see how this thing go.
And then
that's that reaction I need for you doing perspective pages on the Beast and the Babe.
Well, and then with all those,
show you, Mike, I can do it.
With all those abandoned houses they have out there, dude. Then you got a house and a market in Japan. That seems like a win-win right there. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I just
the house would be the
vacation house. To check on my book.
I mean, Jesus. Kyoto? Oh, you mean Alim?
You gotta put a comic out in Substack of him doing that just to rub it in.
Rename Tokyo to Alim Land. That's how much money you're gonna make in the Japanese market. Oh, Tokyo Tower. Oh, you mean Alim Tower? Yeah, I've been there. I own it.
All right.
You know, I'm telling you,
I thought about doing the whole teaching English over there, but they don't pay
book on
shit.
book on the shelf.
Get a
book
book
on the shelf.
That's the first step. That's the first step.
If I get it in a comic store or a nail salon or whatever, I'm gonna have a book on the shelf
Nail
somewhere.
salon?
It's just
I'll have a book.
It's just gonna be
the Diary of Snoopy is going to be for sale in somebody's store. I'm telling you, I'm gonna make it happen.
It's just gonna be so disappointing when they go to do the live action and then they Asian wash Sweet Pea.
I'm telling you, man. I got more faith in people than you guys, I guess, man. I'm telling you, man. We're gonna make this happen.
A little bit, but I just think that would be fucking hilarious. Be like,
I got faith in it, man. I just they don't. It's not as open as it is here in America. It's like everything that comes to us, we're like, yeah, bring it in. If it's gonna make some money, let's do it. Yeah. Everybody else is just like, oh, we got to look at it first. Maybe it's not so great for
They're very
maybe
judgmental.
if we change this, right?
They already they enjoy the culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now here's an opportunity for some cultural exchange. There's somebody out there. It may not be a major company, but when you start talking to the people, I'm gonna figure out how to do that. Yeah. I'm gonna get in touch with some people some kind of way. And we're gonna make it happen as individuals, as people.
Google AI Translate.
Dude, I'm telling you, they have a Five Below over there. All right. I guarantee you they have some kind of Five Below over there. Because if you've gone to Five Below here, you know exactly where you could find Dragon Ball energy drink, the newest ramen that come out, weird Japanese like snacks. Their culture is all over here. I can't tell you how many times I went to like a con and there was somebody selling Japanese snacks. Just boxes and boxes. They just have two tables and they sell out. Everyone. You're like, oh, like,
they sell
soy sauce and dill pickle chips. Fuck yeah, man. Let me get that. Look at it. I can't even. He had to tell me it was soy sauce. I couldn't even read it on the bag.
Pockies.
They love it. They love it. The snack
Hockey
market
sticks.
alone. I'm telling you, get some kind of popped corn, and slap Sweet Pea popcorn on there. It's gonna fucking go. Or do like freeze dried popped sweet peas. Or something.
All right, I'll add that to my notes.
You know what I mean? I mean, Green Giant hasn't been doing
What
good.
stole a lot of the big American comics was the film industry, man. It wasn't just the comic book industry.
Okay,
the film industry sold the comics in the market.
But what if you sold Sweet Peas, like a bag of peas, and it's just boom, Sweet Peas.
Like candied peas,
dude. Drop them in sugar, kids will go crazy. Or sweet pea, or sweet pea soup. And you do like a split pea soup, and you call it the sweet pea soup.
Why is all
here building a pitch deck or merchandising?
Nasty food.
Yeah.
Split pea soup, man.
Hey man, you just gotta spice it up and get the marketing wherever you can get it. I mean, it's just kind of like, it's like a Perjangers pastrami. Hey, it's not like I eat pastrami. It's just the marketing, man. You got to go with it where you can.
Have to work on that name. Peas. Perjangers pastrami.
That sounds dirty.
I can't get that video out of my head with that girl trips on the xylophone.
Oh my God, pastrami. Perjangers pastrami.
I can see the point. You got Ninja Turtles on in every ice cream truck in America. Sonic the Hedgehog too. Now think about it.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, let's get a sweet pea popsicle.
Oh man,
let's start with that,
dude. Especially with her hair,
ice cream sandwich with berry filling.
That'd be perfect for like the one on the popsicle. You get like the sweet pea ice cream and whatever flavor. It could be vanilla with just like flavor. Just a food coloring. So that way you get the proper little sweet pea ice cream pop, dude. We have a whole line of I got the soup. I got it. Every idea ain't gonna be ain't gonna go over well, but it's really gonna go good with the over 60 market. Okay, the over 60 market's gonna love the sweet pea.
I'll tell you what.
Soup.
I'll tell you what. You write a 1-page script, okay, with you as the infomercial of an Asian you selling sweet pea products in Japan. I will put it in the back of the book,
dude. Don't tempt me. I may.
No, it's going to be me.
Dude, I may actually do. That would be great promo material to do an infomercial and have it like Sweet Pea products and just like different oddball, like Sweet Pea stapler, just products that nobody in the world, not even Kiss, would try to put that as merch. And you have like a Sweet Pea shower cap. And like Sweet Pea stapler, no, people use erasers. It's got to be something to like
Sweet Pea stapler.
Yeah, like a Sweet Pea stapler. That could be like somebody's favorite office thing. You're like, oh no, there you go. Secured that with my Sweet Pea stapler. Then they have a little sign. Ask me about my Sweet Pea stapler. Posters, fucking market right there, dude. Ask me about, and then posters commenting about.
I would love to get to
ask me about my Sweet Pea shower
and everything
cap.
going.
You know, I think there's a market there.
You get that merchandise train rolling. That's when you know you made it.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, just getting all the merchandising out there for it. You get like little beer cozies, Sweet Pea beer cozies. Oh, that'd be bad marketing. We'll think of like a soda pop or a Stanley. There you go. Kids love Stanleys. You do a Sweet Pea Stanley. You know, unisex underwear. There you go. Sweet Pea unisex underwear. That would be good. You know, I mean, everybody needs underwear, and now you can rep your favorite Sweet Pea. All right, that one maybe not. But like I said, all the ideas aren't going to work them all out. You know, we'll iron them out in post. But
maybe like Himba masks and harmonizing crystals, or
oh god,
you know,
having flashbacks from one of the events I went to.
Money wristbands with like UV lights as flashlights.
Oh, one of those like little plastic, the plastic stands that hold your tacos while you're making them. Functionality too, just like the stapler. You got it. People will love their Sweet Pea taco stand.
You know, any and everything.
You know,
Marcus Taco handstands.
Marcus paper clips.
That's fun.
I
mean, we were thinking more like action figures and plushies and shirts. And
wow, yeah. I mean, you know, everybody would go the easy way. I'll put it. You know,
the tradition.
But if George Lucas has taught us,
it's how TMNT did it.
George Lucas taught us about anything. It's all about the merchandising, baby.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
no, I think he regrets that decision after what Kathleen Kennedy did.
But that was the one thing. That was the one thing that George Lucas told Mel Brooks that he couldn't do. He was like, "All right, you can do Spaceballs, but you can't merchandise it. You can't do anything merchandise." He literally cornered the merchandising market for Star Wars. He practically Walmarted that shit. Just like, no, get out of here. So. And merchandising, toys.
That's the benefit of being the first to do a big thing.
Well, look at where all the leaks come from. Toys. They go on these big expos and show all these toys that are coming out, and they're like, "Oh, right, that was a spoiler." And you're like, "Oh yeah,
yeah." I'm waiting for Ghost Rider and Spider-Man. I'm just saying. I saw the Lego set.
Oh, you saw it? Yeah. I'm like, all right, let's fucking go, son. The Doomsday.
I'm like, I want to see how this comes together. I got to know now.
You know what I mean? Like, the toys always give it away.
Yeah.
And you're just like, well, I know you're doing that now. So the merchandising, here's what we do. You set the merchandising out after the comic. Gives you time to iron out all the merchandising ideas. And that way, no spoilers get out there. You get the leg up on the competition that way.
I mean, got to close out the first arc first before you start thinking about merchandising.
Yeah, right now, that's my main focus right now is telling the best story I could tell. And let the chips fall where they may after that. If we got a 6-pack of Sweet Pea, the Diary of Sweet Pea undershirts one day, then great. But right now,
Now, are you
right now,
planning?
I want to see some great work that I could be proud of done.
Now, do you want to
It
expand
was some
that?
UFC wear.
Do you want to expand that world, or just a separate project, separate world entirely?
Like I said, I mean, like all the pieces of the puzzle are all there. Like there's a
Okay.
huge toy box to dump out
Right.
with the
Right.
Diary of Sweeper. You got a lot of different factions. You have a lot of different characters. You have some characters that are in passing that can be expanded on. There's something there because everything's meaningful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no filler involved in it. Everybody serves a purpose. There's not even a whole lot of background characters inside of the book. Everybody in the page serves some kind of purpose or is interesting, in some kind of way. It's not just random. It's not just random stuff with this.
Right.
So yeah, we can
I
we
mean,
can
and the
go we can
biggest
go
giveaway
there.
is
Okay.
yeah.
So
The biggest thing is Amani is not the only one affected by this energy surrounding the Earth in the series.
Right.
right.
In Sons of Adam, that was alluded when she went to the church. There was another kid there with abilities who we really haven't explored that's got potential.
Yeah.
General Wells
Mhm.
and the Fido was a secret fighting force. We all know what happens when you give yourself a name and you're a secret fighting force. And there's a lot of tension between them and aliens. So there's that concept to explore. And then there's the draconian aliens themselves and the reason to explore why they harness this energy to begin with, which is what kickstarted this whole thing. So there's mass potential for it to be a really big thing. We've already talked about it,
Oh
but
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
money's got to make
And,
sense.
and
The
it's not
story's
even
got to
just
line up.
Yep. And it's not even just humanity, you know what I mean, that's been affected by this. As you see, you got like a little panel in issue 3 that shows you that a lot of Earth is changing. The planet is changing. So, what's the story? What's the impact of this story 100 years from now? What's Earth going to look like? How are people going to remember Imani and this thing that happened? Because that's another, like that's a whole nother. We can take it really far. You know what I mean? That's one
Right.
of my ideas for the story. Eventually, is that let's take a look at how things get lost in translation over time. You
Mhm.
know, 300 years from now, do people remember Imani as a god? Do they remember her at all? Do they remember her as a calamity?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, now.
How do they remember all the other groups that was in there, and how much has the world changed since this transformative energy has been, affecting it?
Yeah, I mean, well,
So
now that you're tapping into Mike and My's territory of the 300-year plus, because there's so many different silly little podcasts that we've done, to where we've just postulated on what our own history has done 300 years ago, even, and the struggles of humanity and how the whisper down the lane happens. And how you may know the correct story, and the story just changes ever so slightly. And that's how you get like the Sumerian flood myth turning into another flood myth, or everybody collectively having the same one, incidentally.
mhm.
However it happened. But you have that questioning. So once again, adding in that slice of real life into the comic, which I think adds on a little bit of mystery when you do it, whereas it's human beings acting like human beings. It's less theatrical in your portrayal of it and more in the realism side of it. And this
Mhm.
sci-fi adventure, I think that's some of the things that we've gotten from modern content that's been out there. Because one of the infamous things that I do say is that you look at Star Trek. The original series was like a play. Everything was very theatrical, very thespian, And then you look at Next Generation, it was more like the Highlander. Everything had that commercialized feel to it. So as things progress, you can see how the writing has even just influences indie and allows it to just turn the dial up to 11.
Mm-hmm. I agree, man. Absolutely. I mean, like, is Amani's diary an artifact now? You know what I mean? Deep into the future. And I'm not, and like, we don't even have to go that far, like, because there's still a lot more story of Amani to tell. Even after the completion of issue 4, I want to tell a complete arc. You know, this is the story of the diary of Sweet Pea, literally. This is the story of Amani's diary.
Right.
Right. And what's written inside of it, presented, you know, to the reader through visual aids and all those things.
Yeah.
Right. So once we get that done, you'll have you know, a well-rounded and hopefully, you know, complete story, but with enough open for there to be a lot more to come.
Right. I like that, man. I mean, you have a nice idea and sense of where your story is going. And I think that the fans have a lot to really get excited for, especially with this next issue, because, you know, the first 2 were just absolutely edge of your seat gripping all the way through. And I know you're going to be putting out the same thing in this one, as well as all your other projects. But Diary of Sweet Pea is definitely one that we want all of the Walljanger family to go out there and pop right on that Kickstarter and support, because this is definitely an IP that we're going to be talking about 10 years from now, saying, oh my God, I can't believe that I got on board right then, because this is one of the best comics in history. This is where you're going to.
We need you now in the pre-launch phase. We're trying to get those pre-launch numbers up. So if you the pre-launch is up right now.
Nice.
You go on my Facebook or Instagram, either Alter Ego Arts or Sweet Pea Comic. Right inside of the bio is a link to it. I'm posting about it all the time, so you'll see it. You know, maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't, but it's there if you go look for it. Get to that Kickstarter page, hit notify when you launch. It really means a lot, even though, you know, it means a lot, man. So please, you know, and it costs you nothing but a couple of seconds.
Oh, 100%. I mean, it's the easiest thing for you to do is to get on the pre-launch now, because especially with Kickstarters, you definitely want to get in there while the getting is good, especially once you get to the end there. You don't want to be the one who's just getting on in at the last moment. You want to get in there now, get all the attention out there, and tell people, tell your friends, tell everybody about the Diary of Sweet Pea, and of course, Wild Oni.
You're gonna be in there. You're gonna want to be in there for those early bird specials as well. That's always a plus. Those 2 days of the launch, you want to have some very enticing offers that won't be around after those 2 days. So that's why that notify is also important, because once the bell rings, you want to be there.
Yeah, man. I mean, early bird deals, early bird specials, little different kind of tchotchkes, different things that you can say thank you to the people, you know, investing in this next issue. That's really shows the thought behind it on your end, because it shows that you care about the fans and that you want them to get excited for this project, and you want to say thank you for supporting it. And that's really the main thing, is the love is sent back to you. You send the love out, he's going to send it right back to you, fans. So that's why everybody has to go out, hop on that pre-launch. The link will be in the description below. Gentlemen, this has been an absolute blast podcast. I can't believe almost 2 hours have already passed by. It always is.
Man, we got to schedule the actual podcast. This was just us catching up, man. We had to come back for a more focused.
Oh, absolutely. We will have more tales and more adventures going on in the future. And I like to end it off the same way every time. It's that I love you and miss you, and I can't wait to see you next time. Until then, game on, boys and girls. Bye-bye.
Bye.